Hello, I'm Sarah Solove and I'm joining up with the Auckland Museum this winter with their Homefront exhibition. We're hosting a sit and knit day in the exhibition, so you can come pick up some sticks and some wool and get knitting. Today I've made a simple tutorial to get you casting on, knitting, casting off and stitching squares together. And hopefully we'll meet you at the museum on the 18th. And I look forward to seeing an awesomely growing rainbow blanket. Alright, let's get started with casting on. We're going to start by grabbing a length of string. I know, how long's a length of string? Maybe about 40 to 50 centimeters. And we're going to tie a little knot here, so there's a loop that you can put your needle through. So we just need one stick, one of the knitting needles for casting on. There's lots of different ways to cast on, probably hundreds and hundreds, but this I'm going to show you the easiest one. You're going to wrap it around your thumb like this, so we're going to go around the front and you've made a cross, okay? So we're going to go up under the cross and then you're going to wrap this side from your ball of wool around the back and then duck it under to the left and pull that on. Go around the thumb like a cross. See, we've got, we can go up the top there. So you've got 1, 2, 3, 4. So we're going to go up to the top and then we're going to wrap that around the needle and then duck it out under and out the left and pull that loop off. We don't want to pull it too tight on the needle because then it's hard to knit your next row. So we're going to go around, through, wrap, and am I going too fast? Got a nice growing number here. So we're going to cast on 30 stitches. Once you get a little bit of a rhythm, you'll be off and away. Next up, we're going to start knitting. And I'm going to do our first stitch. So with our other needle, you're going to go through that first loop and out the back. And now underneath this one. So with the yarn that's attached to our ball here, we're going to wrap this around from the bottom to the top. Alright? Then, with that held quite snugly, we're going to slide this back and duck it back through that loop. Now there's the yarn that we've just wrapped around, and then we're going to slide it off the end of the needle. Alright, and then we're going to do that again. So we're going to go through and under, wrap this one around, back through, and then slide it off. You can pull these two down nice and tight, but not too tight. It's all about tension is the trick, but you'll get there. So we're going to go through under that next stitch, out the back, wrap that around, and then slide it back through and slide it off. So the loops that we're kind of creating by wrapping around are going to be the loops that we dive through when we come back along the next way. And when I go through here, I'm resting this end here on my belly. Not too pro yet, haven't got it tucked under my elbows like Grandma would. Alright, and we're coming to our end. A couple more stitches. Now we're going to turn that around. Beautiful first row. And start at this end again. So we're going to go under, wrap, and pull that off. Woohoo! Now we're going to cast off. Now that we've got our square, we're going to measure along the bottom. So that's 17, and then up to here, it's about 17 as well. Now to cast off is essentially doing the same stitch as what we've been doing. So we do start off with 2 stitches, so we're going to go 1 and slide that off, 2, and now we're going to pick up this first stitch here and pull it over this one. So I do that with my fingers. So we're going to slide that over, and then now I've got 1 here. So now we're going to do 1 stitch and slide that one over. 1 more stitch and slide that over. So you can see here it's coming off with a nice edge. Alright, so now we've got all of this cast off, and I'm just going to come to my last stitches. So we're going to pull that one over, and then this one, and pull this last one over, pull that up. I'm going to pull out the needles, so we've got our 2 needles, whoop, and grab some scissors here and cut this string and put it through the hole there. Pull that nice and tight. So now we have our square. Don't cut this one off or with the one from your starting, because these are really good for when we stitch it together to our neighbouring squares. Okay, now my favourite part, sewing together. Alright, because I'm a sewer, I quite like sewing things with the right sides together as opposed to butted up the edges like this. So we're going to put these 2 and we'll thread our needle. Like that. Now what I'm going to do is go across to the yellow and then back from the yellow through to the green, and then back from the green back through the yellow, and so on and so forth. Alright, so we're just going to grab that last little yellow loop there and back through to the green, just working along the edge, not going too deep into the square. Alright, so we're just going to come and do our last couple of stitches here as we get to the end of that side. We want to be careful not to run out of thread here with our needle, because we want to be able to tie a knot still. What I do is go back through into the square. See, you've created a loop. Before you pull that loop tight, you're going to push this end back through there, and it pulls a nice tight knot. So do that twice. There's your loop, and then pushing that back through. Alright, now let's open it up. Beautiful! So there you are, 2 squares knitted together. So whether you've got 1 square or a bunch of squares, you're welcome to post them into the Auckland Museum or bring them with you next time you're visiting and stitch your squares in. I look forward to meeting you on the 18th of June if you want to come and join our sit and knit today. And if you have any questions, email me hello@solove.nz.